kind of speechless right now. I think I'm wearing the appropriate shirt for today. I am the warranty. I wore this unintentionally. We've invalidated our warranty, and listen, I'm never going to hide anything on this channel. I'm never going to edit out the bad stuff. I think that does a disservice to, what's really happening. But this is what happened. Welcome to Doug Does Stuff. I'm Doug, and here we are with my Anycubic Kobra S1 post Funssor 8mm plate and carriage install. If you've got the Funssor bed and you're going to install it, or you want to see how to install it, check out my last video up here. It's really detailed, it's really long. Watch the whole thing, watch parts of it, help you out with that install. It's also really early in the morning here. Got my coffee. How do you like your coffee? I drink it black. Grandma never let us put milk in it or sugar in it. You could put Sambuca in your coffee when you were a kid. You couldn't put anything else. Italian sensibility. I don't know. Anyway, so here we are with, put that there so it doesn't spill. Here we are with our Anycubic Kobra. And now that we have it installed, what do you do next? I think there's only one thing to do. You know what it is. It's a first layer print. What that means is a 250 by 250 by 0.2 millimeter high print to see how good and how level the printer is. And I installed the Funssor bed because my bed level was anywhere on any given day and on any given print, on any given even bed level, because it would change every bed level, 0.6 to 1.0. I mean, it went all over the place. And because of that, the printer cannot adapt to that great of a bed mesh deviation. I don't care what people say. It cannot. Now, there are ways to overcome that. Like you could increase flow rate. You could, lower your Z and smush it here and smush it there. But you know what? We didn't want to do that. So we went the Funssor route. Now we have a bed mesh deviation of anywhere between 0.05 and 1.0. I would, or it's actually 0.12. I would love to be closer to the 0.05 range, but I'm not. I'm at about a 0.1. I think there's some other stuff going on that's causing that. It's not necessarily the plate, but who knows? I mean, I think we have some work to do, but we got it installed, and now we got to do something. So we're going to go over to the computer, we're going to get it set up, and we're going to print ourselves a first layer print. And gosh darn, for the sake of all my posts, I really hope this works. Let's go to the computer. All right, here we are at the computer. I got the file loaded up. Yes, I am videoing my screen, and I do appreciate the messages about using OBS and other filming software. The computer's 13 years old. It wouldn't handle it. It would choke. And this is my little workhorse down here in the basement. So unless you're willing to sponsor, always open to sponsorships of a new computer, we're going with this one. Anyway, so here we are. I have my 250. I had my scale open so you could see. Show you one more time. 250 by 0.20. We are printing at a 0.20 millimeter layer height, and we are using Anycubic PLA. PLA Plus actually, and I am using the default profiles. I have not overloaded the flow rate. I have not lowered the Z height. The only thing I changed up here, which is why it has an asterisk, I will show you because people will call me out, is I changed to my hardened steel nozzle and I turned off auxiliary part cooling. So those are the only changes. Everything else is default through here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to hit the slice. We're going to hit, wow, that was quick. 30, looks about 30 minutes to do this. We're going to do our remote print. We are going to run a bed level. Yep, we're going to run a bed level on this right before. We're going to see what happens. So I'll bring you back once it's done. Kind of speechless right now. I just ran the print, and when it started off, it looked like this picture right here, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I thought maybe the filament wasn't all the way in, or leftover filament that wasn't fully purged, or that there was something else going on. So I stopped it and I ran it. That's what I got. I don't know if you can see this. All across the bed. This is a 3x3 mesh. That's what I still had in there. This is a bed mesh deviation of 0.07. I changed it to a 5x5. And when I say a 5x5, I mean I'm changing the bed mesh probe to like 3x3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 9x9, whatever. Yeah, 5x5, not much better. I don't know if you can see that or not. Kind of at a loss right now. I don't know what to do. What's weird is it looks like there's a perfect square in the middle. And I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I got to go back and dive into this and go from there. So, okay, well, it's been hours. Like, I've been at this all day or all morning. I don't know. I've printed a whole bunch more off. And it ain't good, folks. I dropped it down to 100 by 100 millimeter square just so I could see. I upped it to a 9x9. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, look, you can see how many I've done. I changed it to a 7x7. Still, same thing. You could see through it. It was a little bit better. And then it got weird on me. I changed to a 5x5, and I started to get a little solid. And then my open gaps over there. I was like, oh, let me go to a 3x3. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So I went to the 5x5 and it started to look better again. So I went back to the 9x9 and I got back to that gapping, but it wasn't as bad as like this one. So I was very, very confused, very confused at this point. And I've been grasping at straws. I hit a 3x3. I got down to a 0.07, and look at that. It's a solid sheet. Solid. And this was a 100 by 100 square. Solid sheet. I was like, all right, maybe I just finished off some bad filament or something. So I upped it to a 5.5, got to a 0.10, went to a 180 square, and all of a sudden, it's hard to see, but I got gapping again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and getting the same results. 5x5. And then I was like, Doug, take a step back. So I took a step back. I looked at it and I said, if you were to see this online, if somebody was to put this up on one of the Facebook groups or Reddit, what would you say? Okay. Clean the build plate. Done. Heat soak the build plate. Done. Check to make sure the nozzle is set correctly and you're done. Make sure your filament is dry. Done. Make sure you're using new filament. Done. And then I said, oh, And I wasn't thinking about this. I said, you know, I always say check your extruder tension screw to people when it looks like, you know, stuff like this. But I wasn't thinking that because I just tore down the printer and put it back together. But in my haste, you know what I'm going to do here? Let me move this. I'm going to bring you in here in a second. In my haste, I didn't tighten the tension extruder screw because it's backwards. Righty-tighty is not tighty. Righty-tighty is loose. Lefty-loosey is tight. So maybe it was late. I came over with my 2.5 wrench. I stuck it in there. And let me, whoops, look at me destroying things here. I'm going to bring you over here just so you can see where I'm talking, and then we'll go back over to the stand. All right. So in here, right, I can't see the screens. Oh yeah, right there. So right there is your extruder tension screw. And tighten is down. Well, I had gone backwards. And the way I adjust this is I tighten it all the way and I back it off 1.5 to 2 turns. Well, I had loosened it. Bring you back over here. So while we're talking, there we go. Sorry. I had loosened mine and tightened it 1.5 turns, not tightened it and then loosened it 1.5 turns. So I figured that out and I was like, you stew-nod. So guess what? As soon as I started to adjust it, my 7x7 started to come in almost perfect. A little bit of gapping down here. I tightened it a little bit more. It got a little bit better. I went to a 5x5 and I started playing with it too much, and you could see over here. Ultimately, I got it to a pretty good sheet. I got a little bit of stuff going on here as well. I think at this point, you know, I just need to take a break. I need to step back. I need to reset myself now that I figured out what the problem is, and then give it another shot from there. I think after that, it's going to be calibrating my filament for flow, pressure advance, all of that stuff. But that's where we are. So yes, we are going to get a solid sheet out of this because I had it once already with my 7x7. Let me tweak it and come back. All right, we're in a different location. I'm sorry, I didn't really want to leave this video a cliffhanger. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to end it with having no real success. And why is that? Well, I struggled for many more hours trying to get this just perfect to where I wanted it, and it wasn't happening. Then the holiday crept up, and I needed to get some other stuff done. And with that, I didn't get it finished. So instead of going ahead and continuing to fight this to get the extruder tension correct, I said, hey, Doug, you know what? Why don't you show everybody what it looks like on the inside? So while you're learning, they're learning. And that's what we're doing. And that's why we're over here prepping for the next video. I am going to tear into the print head, take out the extruder, and show you what happens when you tighten it and loosen it. I think that's going to be very helpful to everybody. So stay tuned for that one and tune in. I hope you guys had a great holiday because Christmas just ended, and hopefully we can get stuff rolling. So happy holidays, happy new year if I don't get the next video out before it, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.